Hello, everybody. My name is Hattie Love, and this is my pitch for a TV series titled Demons Live in the Bathroom. This is a scripted drama series of about 8 episodes, potentially or ideally streaming on Netflix or any other streaming service. I want to preface this pitch by saying this is a TV series about addiction and the pain and sadness tied to addiction, but it's also a show about hope. It's a show about human connectedness, about connectedness to the world around us, and it's a show about the light and dark that lies within us and the battle between that light and dark within each and every one of us. So, a brief synopsis or more specific summary of the TV show is this is a show about a young, promising psychology professor, Levi Crawford. He teaches at the University of California in Los Angeles, and he battles with a heroin addiction. Um, and although he does battle with this heroin addiction, he is much more than his addiction. There's so many more layers to him than that define him than just that. This isn't a story so much about where or in what manner Levi Crawford dies. It's a story about monumental moments in his life where had he chosen a different path in that moment, how different the trajectory of his life would be. It's a story, as I mentioned before, about the cunning, baffling, and powerful nature of addiction, with each episode focusing in on these what if moments in Levi's life where had he chosen life over drugs, how different his life would be. Each episode combines imagination with Levi's reality, where he eventually comes to terms with his death and the choices he made to get him there. So this is the main character, Levi Crawford, as I mentioned, potentially played by James Franco. Levi Crawford is a heroin addict, but he's also a very smart, very intelligent, intellectual, deep person. He's kind, he's caring, he's empathetic, he's got a pretty well off life. He has a good job that he's passionate about, that he loves. He lives in a nice, quaint, but eccentric apartment in downtown Los Angeles. He drives an old classic car. He's very into antiques and reading books and art. He loves to draw, he loves to sketch, and he's very good at it. Um, but he also carries a deep pain and sorrow within his heart. What is externally seen of him on the outside does not align with what he feels on the inside. He's a loner. He loves nothing more than to, when he gets home from work, to be at home by himself with a glass of whiskey or a needle, getting high and drawing or reading a book or just being isolated by himself. And although he is an introvert, he's an extrovert in the sense of he knows a lot of people, and a lot of people, although he may not realize it, love him and consider him a friend. He's very easy to talk to. He makes connections very easily. He has conversations with other people very naturally, and that's that's one of the reasons why he knows so many people, because of his ability to talk, connect, and listen to others. So, this is another one of the main characters. Her name is Lucy. The importance of this character and the other character, the other main character that I will explain after this, their importance and their purpose, and what I really want you to focus on is they're intended to show who Levi is at his core and his heart. They add depth and really show the audience what kind of person he is and how loved he is and how loving he is to others, and that just to show these layers of him that go way beyond this struggle and this pain and this addiction that he cannot let go of. So Lucy, like Levi, is an intelligent, intellectual, deep, smart person. She's chill and to herself, but she's also very kind, very thoughtful, very compassionate, and caring. She's a painter, she's an artist, and her and Levi develop an intimate romantic relationship with each other. They're next door neighbors. She's also something very special and specific about her is she is a recovering drug addict and alcoholic. She's been sober. She knows addiction. And so she's one of the only people in this show that sees Levi for all that he is, for all the good, but also for his addiction and loves him still, loves him the same. They they both enjoy being outside on their patios, smoking cigarettes, drinking coffee, and that's how their relationship starts and flourishes from there. Like I said, they become intimate boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. This is the other character, Jay. And again, the purpose of this character and the meaning behind is again to add another depth, another layer to the main character, Levi Crawford. Jay is one of Levi Crawford's students at the University of California. He's a psychology major. He's a loner. He doesn't have very many friends. He's also very smart. He's very intellectual, very deep. He's a very humble, genuine person. And his relationship forms with Professor Crawford through his ambition, his passion, and his eagerness to learn. School to him is a lot more than just getting a good grade. He's very passionate about learning. Really, he really cares about what he's learning and specifically draws a connection to Professor Crawford, what he's teaching, the way he's teaching, and they start having conversations outside of just in the classroom, and they end up forming a very deep, powerful, and meaningful friendship, a companionship, a brotherhood, if you will. Levi doesn't have any kids, and so it's almost like a father-son relationship in the sense of Jay really looks up to Levi Crawford, sees him as a mentor. He really cares about him as a person, and he cares about what he says about psychology and what he says in class, but also what he says about the world. They really help each other learn and grow more than probably each one of them really realizes in the moment. So let's dive into the episodes. Like I said, this is an 8-part series. This is the pilot episode titled The Last High. This episode is Levi's last day on Earth. It goes through a typical day in his life. He gets up, he goes to teach all his classes at the University of California in Los Angeles. He grabs a cup of coffee with Jay. He heads home, and these episodes are narrated by Levi himself. So the audience is able to see not only what's going on externally and what the world around Levi looks like and how he is perceived externally, but really what's going on in his head and inside him on this day. This episode ultimately ends with Levi's death, with a needle in his arm on the floor of a dingy motel bathroom in a completely contradictory setting to his home, to this life that he lives outside of getting high on heroin. We see in this episode the life slip from his body, and it's been noted that the last 7 minutes after you die, that your brain is still alive for 7 minutes after you die. And so this kind of takes a spin off of that. These last 7 minutes that Levi's brain is still alive, we see his life on the screen flash before his eyes. The love, the pain, the memories, the people, every monumental moment in his life flashes across the screen. It's a profound and powerful moment. It's a heartbreaking and emotional scene, but it's also the root of the entire show. Every episode that follows stems from these last 7 minutes. And um this is kind of sets the scene and the layout for the episodes to come. So each of these episodes, as I mentioned, are titled off the last 7 minutes. That is Brain or Alive. Episode 2 is titled Minute One, Lost Soul. And these episodes are also tied to they focus on specific emotions and important important life experiences that Levi has had, but also just in general and life for all human beings, these important experiences and relationships that we form and how that impacts our life that we live. So episode 2 is titled Minute One, Lost Soul, and this is an episode focused on pain, brokenness, and loneliness. It's a look at the moment that changed the trajectory of Levi's life and gives the audience a window into how and why Levi decided to pick up heroin and start using heroin. Episode 3 is titled Minute Two, Echoes of Home. This is an episode focused on the guilt from not making amends to his parents. It's about familial relationships in general. The audience gets to see light that is shed on the broken ties between him and his family and how lost and lonely this really makes him feel deep in his heart. Minute 3, Jay. This is an episode focused on Jay's character, on the relationship that Levi and Jay share with each other. It's an episode about friendship, about brotherhood, about companionship, and how that is reflected between these two characters. Minute 4 is titled Divine Intervention. This is an episode about God and about a power greater than ourselves. It's a uncoincidental moment of truth where everything is working against Levi and his endeavor to go pick up heroin, and just how God was working in his life, like shaking him, telling him, you cannot do this anymore. But he chose darkness still. Minute 5 is Lucy. This is an episode about Lucy, about his girlfriend, about love in a intimate and romantic way. It's explores the beautiful love and bond that Lucy and Levi shared, and what ultimately the issues and the problems, that his addiction also did cause in their relationship, but that the unconditional love Lucy had for Levi and Levi had for her even still. Minute 6, Demons. This is an episode focused on defeat and really focuses on this battle between the lightness and darkness that lies within Levi. It's a moment where Levi tries to reach out for help and truly believes he's ready to leave addiction behind, but in the end, his internal demons win the battle. Minute 7, The Exit. This is an episode focused on acceptance, and the clarity that comes with this acceptance. This episode shows Levi accepting his fate, and his final moments flash before him. And as sad and painful as of an experience as it is, it's also a moment of clarity. Levi chooses to leave a message in this episode of hope for those still struggling with addiction. Um, and again, it really focuses on this acceptance, that is a extremely important part of, anybody with an addiction. And that is all. Thank you so much.